I'll read you a couple of short comments that I posted on my Facebook this week, a couple of days ago. And the first one is a comment to David Chapman's post on Twitter. David Chapman he has a couple of blogs, and he has written quite a bit about the nature of Tantric Buddhist practice, and also Chokchen. Some of his teachings I find are really, really good. And here is a Twitter tweet made by him. There's a powerful tendency both in Tibetan tradition and in modernity to concretize Tsalung into fixed practices, which misses the point in my opinion. Tsalung. There's a powerful tendency to concretize Tsalung, and I made a comment to that. That is a very good point made by David. Energy practices should be taught in a way that is thorough and comprehensive, not fixed and rigid. To accomplish this sets a very different time requirement for both the teacher and student, but it is possible nevertheless. Tsa plus lung is Tibetan, that means nadi plus prana, or in Western language, channel and vital energy or breath energy. Tsalung practices that are a big part of Tantric yoga is about purifying karmic dirt from the subtle body made of nadis with prana coursing through, and consequentially establish the natural state on one's body-mind. Chapman makes an excellent observation in saying that Tantric energy practices should not have a fixed form. In my view, the reason for this is obvious. There are countless nadis, each one of them carrying karmic traces imprinted on them. That being the case, Tantrics need to cover the whole energy body, not just one or two nadis or few chakras here and there. And that is very common. Like if you learn some Tsalung or Tantric practices, you see very simplified forms of it. So that's what I mean, that not just one or two nadis or just few chakras here and there. This is the very reason why I teach through workshops. On all Pemaka retreats, I break the basic form of practice so that my students understand the correct meaning of Tantric practice that cannot possibly be fixed because of the above said reason. And yeah, like workshopping is a way I teach, and I feel it's good because it gives you something that you can work on in your home practice, and it gives the practitioner a very different understanding of how the practice should be done. Again, I'm not at all scholarly oriented, so I don't give lectures about books, but rather, since I started practicing myself, always going to the body and going to the energy body and trying to make sense of that. Theory, or the so-called view, theoretical understanding of what we're doing is absolutely necessary. We need to understand what we're doing and why and where it will take us, and how that travel along the path happens. But what I would love to see much more in the world of yoga and tantra today is to understand the practices and practice methods, because that's a weak point, definitely culturally, if we look at yoga and tantric practice. So that's the reason why I teach like I teach. Just to clarify one point about my comment, that so we have in our Pemako practice In Rainbow Body Tantra, in other practices, we have the basic form of it. Basic form, like when, for example, yesterday we practiced some of the Rainbow Body Yoga techniques, and we'll continue it today. So like Rainbow Body Jewel, beginning mantras, Vajra breath, all these techniques, they have a basic form. And we need to have that basic form so that practitioners can start from somewhere. But then I always want to offer a wider view to get to the bottom of it, for you to understand the principles of the practices rather than have a very fixed idea of specific techniques and which then affects the whole method, understanding the whole practice method. Yeah, so I've sometimes seen this debate between, especially in Hindu Tantra, I saw it all the time, that, you know, somebody starts a tantric lineage, and then when a couple of generations later, that lineage has spread into different branches. And I've seen practitioners of the same form of tantric yoga debate that who is practicing the original practice. And as you might already understand, that it's a completely foolish debate, because, you know, there cannot be one fixed form of practice unless it's very formless. But there cannot be like a one fixed form of practice that would check all boxes, if that makes sense. And therefore it is futile to try to find, you know, what is the original form of practice. So let's continue with Rainbow Body Yoga. Yesterday we got to